There was a big part of our marriage where I really wanted Michelle to understand me. I kept pushing for her to understand me, and she couldn't understand me. And it was maybe a lack of me communicating who I am or what's going on, or a lack of her receiving the message. But I just had this deep feeling and need to be understood. And so I had put that on her as her fault, or our relationship as an incompatibility. And it led to some heartbreak on my part. But I think that the real issue was I didn't understand myself, and I was fighting to understand myself and transferring that onto Michelle. It's been about a week since we recorded our episode about attachment and attunement. And I had a deep experience when we were recording that episode. If you haven't listened to that episode, you may want to go listen to that first, because there are spoilers we're going to be talking about for sure. This morning I was down in the kitchen going through my daily routine, and I was thinking to myself, I could meditate now. I have my meditation cushion over in the corner. And it suddenly dawned on me another time in my life when I felt that terror feeling that we talked about in that episode. And that was when I was attempting to meditate. I don't really know the date. I had started to explore meditation maybe anywhere from 2007 to 2010, around in that area. And I was sitting in my closet on the floor, and I had this feeling of terror come up, and it was horrendous. And I didn't know what it was. I thought it was maybe an external entity. I thought it was maybe something inside me that needed to get out. Like I needed what do they do? The exorcist. I needed to be exorcised. This demon. Maybe it was a demon inside me.
Okay.
Yeah. I never meditated the same since then. I stopped trying at the time. I attempted a few times later. I can do about 5 minutes, but it never got to the same level of meditation that I was at before, because it didn't feel safe. So it's the same terror feeling that came up during those 3 stories that I told in that episode. And it's a familiar feeling actually that had happened. And I think what was going on, just to reiterate what I said in that episode, was I was starting to feel safe in the world. I was starting to feel some healing. And then this terror shows up and throws me off my game. I think it was trying to say, I need some attention, stay with me. But my other parts said, we don't go there, and stop right away. And I let them win. I chose them to be the leaders at this time, because maybe I wasn't safe enough really to process that. It was too terrifying.
And you probably thought it was a memory to uncover that you had completely forgotten, and it was scary.
Yeah,
and you didn't want to know. That's typical.
I had no way to process it at the time. I had no understanding of attunement and attachment, and how important the formidable years of a young mind are.
Right.
And how young kids like to explore. And so playing in the toilet was okay. Not that you should let your kids play in the toilet, but it doesn't mean that I'm bad if I wanted to do that at that age.
Right. That's a natural thing to explore. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have this feeling, this realization, and I got to come upstairs and tell Michelle. So I'm telling Michelle what went on. And then while we're talking, I understood where nasty, nasty, nasty came from. And I understood that why I felt that fear when I was sitting on the toilet. When we recorded that episode, didn't realize that that was a message, that it had to do with the toilet where it happened. Now I do. My brain was telling me this familiar thing, scary, a little, right? Probably, I suspect, we talked about how, when I was really young, my finger got cut off in the hinge of the door. I was playing in the toilet. My mom took me and put me outside the door, closed the door, and that's how my finger got cut off. And I suspect, I wonder when that happened if she used the word nasty, because when I was 8 or 9, that's when I heard this yelling voice say nasty, nasty, nasty. And that was intense. That was intense feeling. And I always felt inside like I'm bad, not likable. And I think it's affected my relationships my entire life, because I can't quite figure out why people like me. And so I don't feel that they like me. And so I'm really suspicious of anyone that does.
Right.
And yeah, right.
Mm.
And that's what's caused, I think, a lot of my disorganized attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was first in therapy, I had read that book, Childhood Disrupted, by Donna Jackson Nakazawa. And my finger episode came up. I was up on a hike listening to it on Audible, and that episode came up, and I didn't really know the whole story, what happened. And it was around Christmas time, so there was a family party coming up. So I went to the family party. I asked my aunt first if she knew anything about it, and she didn't seem to really know much about it, which makes sense. I doubt it was talked about. We were sitting around a campfire with my brother and my parents. And I asked my parents then, hey, what happened that day? What was going on? What were the circumstances around it? And I was talking to my mom. It was me sitting there, and then my dad, and then my mom. And I was talking to my mom saying, what was that about? And my dad said, that was a really traumatic day for your mother. I didn't jump in and say, yeah, that was a really traumatic day for me too.
Right. That was a shocking answer, a little,
It was just
too.
confusing,
Yeah.
and a little bit, I got the message, don't bring it up
Dismissive. Yeah.
because that's going to be upsetting,
Right.
and a little dismissive. And I said, well, I just would really like to know like what went on. And my mom just told me what I've already said. You didn't add anything to it or anything. You're playing toilet. I moved you and closed the door, and you got stuck your finger in the door. Things that didn't happen were, I'm really sorry I did that to you.
That must have been
Or,
scary.
yeah, that must have been scary. I can't imagine how terrified you must have felt.
Yeah. Or you poor thing.
Yeah, even though you poor thing,
Yeah. Nothing.
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 That's the emotional neglect. I have emails from my mom too that say, when I brought up in early therapy a few things, they say, I'm sorry, I should have told you I loved you more, which is her way of saying, I did everything good, and just not enough. You're just asking for more than what I am able to give. It wasn't anything like, I'm sorry you got hurt or anything about my experience. It's just from her defending that she's a good person, that she tried her hardest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that she tried her hardest, And she went through hard things as well. They say hurt people hurt people. My mom's a hurt person. I don't know that any of my siblings had the same experience as me or
Right.
similar experiences as me.
Mhm.
But I know for me, I could have used some more emotional guidance, some more empathy, and some more understanding than what my mom was capable of giving at the time.
Yeah, when you say that affected relationships, then was it kind of then on some level wanting that from everyone else a little bit, or like that craving was there,
Craving for what?
or for care, for understanding, for
Yeah.
support, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I liked about every girl I met in high school.
Yeah.
They were all nice, so nice. I
Yeah.
think it might have been they're nicer than my mom.
Mm,
I don't know,
yeah.
but I did definitely have this, maybe people would call it limerence or something like that.
Yeah.
But
What
at the
did
same time, while I liked them all, I
Mhm.
didn't feel worthy of anyone inside.
Right.
Like I didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Kept me from trying to build a relationship.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember from our story, if you listen to that, Michelle asked me out. I didn't ask her out.
Yeah.
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 About this time when I was getting into meditation, I was reading that book, Norma or Mr. Nice Guy, and other books to try to figure out what was going on. And I remember having this realization that my mom didn't like me
Mhm.
at the time. I didn't realize it applied to a lot of people that I thought that about. I
Mhm.
mean, I have a list. I've started a list. There's 20 on it so far of people that I've ghosted.
Mm.
I just kind of went into hiding and let the relationship die because maybe I felt like they didn't like me.
Mhm.
Maybe I just thought it was a one sided relationship and I was taking from them. There's lots of justifications in my head about
Mhm.
what that dynamic was,
Mhm.
but I feel bad about it. Lots of coworkers, lots of friends from elementary, high school. I'm starting to reach out a little bit more, like on Facebook. I've followed a couple people that I haven't, or friended a few people that I haven't before, because it seems like it's feeling a little safer. And that's not just today, but it's been about a week since we recorded that last podcast.
So kind of telling that story was part of the journey a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Yep. And it's bringing up a lot of emotions. I mean, I'm so angry right now
Mhm.
that this happened.
Mhm.
And yeah, right now it's directed at my mom. And it's also directed at her, her parents and then their parents. And it goes way back. I don't know how much blame is really sits on my mom versus even maybe the culture she was raised in or the religion maybe. I don't know how much that's the blame. I don't know where to put blame, but having it off of me is so relieving.
Yeah. Well, anger is an emotion that is valid, and I wonder if it needs to land somewhere, or if you know what I mean? If
Oh yeah.
I mean, in order for it to be justified, it doesn't need any specific thing to have
Hmm.
caused it for you to feel it.
Right.
Like it doesn't you can have that emotion that is a as one of our emotions to go to.
Mhm.
If it wasn't important, it would have been evolutionized off, you know?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think about how many kids did something terrifying happen to that they don't have a scar on their finger to ask about. It's sad to think about.
So you've already kind of told a little bit, but what are those feelings? Like what feelings might come up that, you have that scar to kind of say something happened, but someone that doesn't have that scar, what comes up? What is those feelings
Well,
over
I want to tell them those feelings are valid. You
Mhm.
have those feelings from somewhere,
Right.
and you don't need to know why.
Right.
The feelings on their own are valid,
Hmm.
and it's okay to feel them, to bring them close, maybe give them a little hug in your mind, and know that there's a message in it for you somewhere. And maybe ask it what the message is. Like in the IFS work that Michelle's certified in, you talk to parts of your body and they're really parts of your mind, but it's symbolized through your body. And wait for an answer to arrive, to come up, and an answer will come up. It may not be the right answer,
Right.
but if it emotionally fits,
Hmm.
try to trust it. Don't immediately discount it and push it away. Just wait and let it come up.
Yep.
I think there's been some issues with repressed memories. There was a man who was convicted for the murder of a kid. His daughter had said he did it, and then he was in prison. This was in the 90s. And then she remembered him killing two other kids, and he wasn't around at the time to be able to do that. He was um, in a different state or different country, like could not have done it.
Right.
And so then his first conviction was overturned and he was released from jail. That's in the book, A General Theory of Love, talking about repressed memories. So they're not trustworthy, but also repressed memories. If you don't have a memory of it, you don't need to know why. You don't need to know what happened, but you do need that feeling.
Right.
I think you haven't worked with AI lately, and
Mhm.
it only has a limited amount of context. So you can
Mhm.
work on a bunch of things, and then it says, hey, I'm flooded. I'm going to take everything I have and compress it down so that it doesn't take us so much space. And this is similar to our brains. Our brains goes through a process of pruning, and we can discard the events and keep the feeling because that's the most valuable part.
Right.
So those events can get pushed out. So I have no memory of when my finger got cut off, but
Mhm.
I do have a terror feeling left over.
Mhm.
And that's just, I think, my brain's compressed context to remember what happened.
And I think in order to keep those things suppressed, then it's when we bring on beliefs. So then it's like I'm not lovable or I'm nasty or I'm
Mm-hmm.
bad. And that belief helps keep everybody in their place.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and so when we talk about changing your beliefs, sometimes for a lot of people it isn't just about changing those beliefs. It's about going and figuring out why that, again, not necessarily the story of why those had to split, but to understand. But I bet you it'd be interesting. I bet you there's more stories like you had that you could tell the story, but the emotion wasn't attached to it because you could tell that story like almost in monotone, like there was zero emotion attached to it. And that is a clue.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a
Especially
big
such
clue.
such a intense story to be told
Hmm.
with no emotion. That's a major clue.
Yep. All three of the stories you told, have big feelings that go with them that don't necessarily come out when you were talking about them, at least
Yeah.
for most of our marriage,
You're
especially.
you're saying the mismatch of intensity of emotion with the intensity of the words
Yeah,
is a
of the mem
clue.
of the story. Yeah, that's a clue.
Right.
So it's almost like instead of going to look for the memory, go look for the emotion. Go look for the feeling.
Right.
And
Maybe
then
that's what meditation is
yeah,
about,
yeah,
or prayer.
right. And then and then those beliefs, because I bet you right now, Monty, are you a nasty person?
No, not at
No,
all.
no. And it doesn't even need to be entertained anymore.
Mhm.
But it's not about convincing yourself you're good enough.
No.
It's really about, it's really about healing and the truth. And so the
Mhm.
truth was, here's the story, and the truth was this was the feeling. And when we find out what's true, that's empowering.
Yep. Right.
It's healing.
It's healing.
Mhm. And I can see it even in you today that you've been using a lot of words like my mind is blown or
Oh yeah.
I can't believe it. And what's that about?
I went for a little walk to try to process this, and I was having that feeling of brain chills. My whole head's kind of tingling inside,
Interesting.
reconfiguring.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, this changes everything. It gives me a perspective on my whole life
Yeah.
so far. And I feel super excited. And I feel also bittersweet feelings of, oh my gosh, why did I have to go through that?
Right.
What would have been different if this hadn't happened in
Right.
my life? Ooh, a lot to think about there. You can play the what if game
Right.
a lot, but if you're going to play what if bad happened, you might as well play what if good happened.
Yeah.
What if this didn't happen? What could have happened?
Right.
Is is the flip side of saying, what if something good like me to you didn't happen?
Hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, the natural thing with these feelings that come up is just to shut them down
Hmm.
because they're
Right.
unpleasant.
Right.
But the thing is, it's not happening now. It happened.
Right. Right.
That's what Michelle said this morning. It's not happening. It happened.
Yeah.
Well, she said, yeah, she said, it's not happening. It happened. That's what I wrote down from what you said. But it was almost like you were saying, it happened, not it did, not
Right.
it is.
It's happening.
It's all of it.
Right. It's all of it.
It's happened in the past, it's happening now, and in the future. There's no time with it.
There's no time.
Yeah.
Right. And that's an important concept too, because at the beginning you said you didn't realize that something that happened 48 years ago, 49 years ago would affect you now. You're a grown man.
I'm a grown man.
But it's not that you allow it. It's the way we're built. It's the way our biology is made. It's this, like I kept saying to you today, I was like, your system is a genius. It gave
Yeah.
you just enough clues to not overwhelm you. And we wish it would have happened sooner, for sure. But
Yep.
I trust your system. I really trust that it did incrementally what we could figure out and hold.
Yeah. For sure.
Because if it doesn't come at the right time, again, it's the same thing. It just doesn't catch.
Right.
You can't force it.
Right. If I had faced that terror feeling back when I was doing meditation, I don't know that I could have handled it. I
Right?
wasn't in therapy.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't have handled I wouldn't have known what to do with that feeling.
I don't know if it's something you necessarily do alone.
Right.
In fact, even if you're in, this is part of heart-centered therapy. Even when a part of that protocol is, we ask our clients to that they can invite someone to be with them if they're, if they're living or gone, or some kind of a, just whoever's a support, and people have all sorts of answers to that. But I feel like that invitation is there to help with that safety, and you can see people say, okay, yeah, I'll pick that person, and they go, okay, they just kind of sit in a little bit because they need support. And like, I'm there, but I don't deserve to be, I don't deserve all their story. I'm a
Right.
stranger.
Right.
They need someone, or a feeling, an energy that is safe, and then they can begin to process. So it's not a thinking, it's not a remembering, it's a feeling, and it's and and allowing that feeling. So if you didn't have the story, what could that look like? It could be, feeling it. Your body might start shaking. Again, a lot of times, really, you say, "What did you need?" And when you dialogue with it, like you said, wow, things can come. It might be a flash of a memory, a flash of a material, of a piece of clothing,
Yeah.
a flash of a time period of, like, it was winter. But and so that's some kind of anchor to hold on to.
It can be a
Just,
texture or
yep,
a color.
whatever shows up. It can be just a feeling in your body, another feeling.
Mhm.
It's like summer's coming. That's a feeling. It's kind of
Right.
like, and it can be that way. But those things are so valuable in and like, I'll say again, in figuring out those negative beliefs. Like, we're sitting here trying to be enough, trying to think the right way, not feel bad about ourselves or whatever. And it's like, and that's actually the symptom,
Right. It's a symptom of that feeling inside that you're not okay.
right? That there's a separation from the truth of what happened and the emotion, I would
Right.
say.
Right.
It's as simple as accepting that emotion as real. I mean,
Right.
that's not simple, I shouldn't say, but it's like, because you say it like that, natural thing is like, don't do that, like,
Hmm.
just don't do that. Yeah. I think I might have mentioned this, but sitting I remember sitting in the car waiting for one of our kids to come out of preschool, and I was just feeling it, and realizing, oh, I'm just kind of asking a little bit, like, what's going on here? This is long before my training, so I didn't have any of those tools, but I did. I was like, what's kind of going on? I was lost some weight, and so I understood that there was a lot more going on to what was happening. That was like my doorway into to how our body's communicating to us. And I thought, oh, I would have gone home and made a batch of chocolate chip cookies and felt so good, and I would have thought, oh, it's a gloomy day. Let's go make chocolate chip cookies and eat it. And I mean, I can make a batch of chocolate chip cookies and eat it and not be masking something else. But I knew that day, oh, I would have masked this. I would have felt like, oh, here's a yucky feeling. What do I got to do to get rid of it?
Right.
That would have been just the automatic response.
Uh-huh. Darling.
Yeah. But
Bugs.
I just sat in the car for a little bit and, like, let's feel that. Let's feel
Yeah.
it. And it's interesting how even just letting it be, letting it feel for a minute, releases a little bit, you know?
Mm, I love it. Something we haven't talked about is that after about 4 years of therapy and finding some difficulties really talking and making this change, Jackie said I needed some bottom up work, maybe. Like therapy is usually top down. You do the talking back and forth intellectually, then it moves down
Brain
into
to
the
body.
body. Yeah, brain to body. She said I needed some body to brain, some more lower level stuff. So she suggested and referred me to a place that does ketamine assisted therapy, psychotherapy, KAP. And as one of those sessions, I think it was the second or third session in, there was a place I had went to, a room I had gone in, and this is kind of envisioning in my mind. I had gone into, and there was a big like steel coffin in the back, the vault. And I just mentioned it. It was there.
I
And
never
I
heard you
think,
call it a coffin. That's really interesting. It was just
yeah,
the
it was a
vault.
coffin. It was the
Oh,
size of it.
wow.
Yeah.
What's buried
And
there?
yeah, and it was still, what's that?
I said that it's like what's buried. I mean, that is so symbolic.
Oh,
Something's
yeah.
buried.
Yeah. And so I wanted to be brave and figure out what's going on with it. So the next session or two, I took a big like bat to it and broke it into pieces, but it kind of exploded. And the main part I remember of that is saying there are casualties everywhere, and all those relationships that are damaged because of my lack of trust, my broken trust, are the casualties.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When you don't have the truth of what happened, I don't know how, especially when it was that traumatic,
Right.
I don't know how you hold truth or trust in your body.
Right.
You had to, you have to bury that or cut it out in order to survive.
Right. And I want to make clear on that. I didn't even know that until today,
Right.
what those casualties everywhere were.
Mm.
Now it makes sense.
Mm.
What happened at the end of that last episode where Michelle did the meditation, walking into the house, and I went down to care for myself, who had just had that nasty, nasty, nasty voice talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was real.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to that episode. I cried then.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to that episode a couple more times. I cried when I listened to it because it's so meaningful to me to go back there and care for my younger self.
Yeah.
There's some real processing happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I think, in our culture, we're seen as heroic for pushing those feelings aside, like compassion or empathy or caring, and just, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Strength. We like you to be strong.
Yeah, and there's benefits to that, and it's a
Right.
valid strategy sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
also there's a lot of benefits and a valid strategy for caring and concern and helping out your fellow man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. For
All
sure.
right, moving on to another dynamic. These are just notes. Like as we're processing it this morning, I'm putting in these notes as we have realizations because I want to remember. We weren't thinking about doing this at the time. I just want to remember like, this is a real, and it's meaningful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to remember. And that's why we're trying to record this right now. Really, it's not about sharing and look how cool we are. I really want to remember this. And I do want also hope if it helps people understand a little more what we've been through.
Right.
That might apply to themselves.
Yeah.
That's where the gold is. I hope that happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
so if
you're
that
not
does,
alone.
let us know. We'd really love to hear about it.
And you can email us at ruptureeverafter@gmail.com. You don't have to leave a comment if it's something tender.
That's right. And we'll be sensitive with your identity or even mentioning what you mentioned, but we'll probably respond to you if you send us something meaningful to you. I also want to say there was a big part of our marriage where I really wanted Michelle to understand me. I kept pushing for her to understand me, and she couldn't understand me. And it was maybe a lack of me communicating who I am or what's going on, or a lack of her receiving the message. But I just had this deep feeling and need to be understood. And so I had put that on her as her fault, or our relationship as an incompatibility. And it led to some heartbreak on my part. But I think that the real issue was I didn't understand myself, and I was fighting to understand myself and transferring that onto Michelle.
Yeah, the need was real
Yep.
to be understood,
Right.
but it was, yeah, that's interesting.
This is what I needed to understand.
Right.
Now I feel understood because I can
Wow.
understand myself.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And you've told me these stories. I mean, you've told me the story over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't, you didn't come up with the right words or whatever to tell the story. It's deeper than that.
So much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that can be communicated without words. Only can be communicated without words.
Yep.
You might not be feeling it as you listen to this episode or watch this on YouTube, but I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Michelle's feeling it.
Yeah.
Plus, we have the contact from this morning to help guide us too. But you asked me a question.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to know what you would say to someone, maybe even that had it something like, yeah, I was meditating and I felt this really scary feeling and I never wanted to do it again, or I never did it again, or what would you say to that point? Because that was kind of the first unraveling a little bit of that thought, that feeling, that story.
Yeah, it was. I think, and I don't remember exactly my response, but I'm going to go with the feeling of it. And what I would say is that feeling's real and valid. And you may not have the experience that it's tied to, but that matters so much less.
Mhm.
Trust your body,
Mhm.
trust the feeling. If you're safe enough in the moment, tell yourself you're safe right now. Not to make the feeling go away,
Right.
to welcome the feeling a little more. Maybe ask it, what message do you have for me?
Mm-hmm.
And then just wait. And it might take a day, it might take a year,
Mm-hmm.
but at least that part of you will know you're curious enough that you're interested in what it has to say.
Mm-hmm. It might come up in a dream.
Yeah.
It might come up in a
dream like it did for
song
me.
lyric. Yeah.
Exactly. You might get a song stuck in your head.
Yep.
And then wonder why that's stuck in your head. You may only know the tune, no lyrics, but figure out what song it is. Look up the lyrics, look up song meanings.
Mm-hmm.
What's the meaning of this song?
Mm-hmm.
And see if that emotion doesn't resonate inside of you.
Right.
It might be
mm-hmm.
a message for you.
Mm-hmm. Little pieces at a time.
Yep. Little pieces at a time. I couldn't feel that terror feeling. It was so scary. And I'm finally have felt it. And so I have access to, it's almost like my color palette for making my painting, just added a few more colors.
Yep.
And that's wonderful. And
Yeah,
those colors are polarized.
Mm-hmm.
I have the dark terror,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have the safety, security, and joy on the other end, because all emotions have this polarity.
Yep. You don't numb just one end of the polarity.
Yeah. You can't get rid of just one side. This toxic positivity that we have, where we don't acknowledge grief or we don't acknowledge sadness or loneliness, we just, fight through it, is not helpful.
And then we're not able to fully feel the joy in our bodies. We might be able to remember what happiness feels like, but we can't feel it in our bodies. And we know what it feels like. It's like the night before Christmas when you're a kid.
Yep.
You can have that as an adult.
That's right.
That is it's titillating, it's exciting, but that gets shut down because we can't, because we're trying to we shut down the other side, not because
Oh
we don't
yeah.
want to feel happy,
Yep.
but it just works that way. You can't numb one emotion, you numb
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think it's
thing.
like Claudia Black. I think she said the three rules of dysfunctional families.
Right? What are they?
Don't talk,
Yeah.
don't trust, don't
Right.
feel.
Yeah.
And that those dynamics get internalized so that parts in our head don't trust other parts,
Right.
don't talk to other parts, and don't feel with other parts.
Right. Don't trust yourself. Don't trust
Right.
other people. Don't trust the systems. Don't
Right.
trust, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
And there might be some places that it doesn't affect and other places it's really intense.
Mhm.
That can happen too.
Yeah. I'm so glad we did this podcast project together, Michelle, just because this is huge for me. This is bigger than the podcast.
Yeah.
It's this is everything to me, and I really appreciate your support and love and care through that process. And sticking with me through the really hard times. It's meant so much, and I hope that you are starting to feel a more sense of safety with me,
Sure.
and I hope that you can appreciate like how much you've helped me through the process just by being my companion by my side. I'm so lucky to have that. A lot of people don't have that. I'm so grateful for you. And for you that don't have that, find someone, reach out, get a therapist, a trusted friend, have a conversation
Mhm.
if you can,
Right.
and email us.
Yeah.
We're happy to listen.
Yeah.
We'll do our best to reflect what's going on.
I just want to say when it comes to the time thing, it was just interesting because I've told you several times this week that you're like a little free. You seem so, this kind of, we've been getting some good attention with this podcast. I mean, we weren't expecting, maybe it's not a million, but we weren't expecting what we got. And I would have expected you to be a little like all the feels about that, maybe insecure or nervous or whatever. You haven't. You have been like, this is so great. And it's another example of how time doesn't exist. It's like you hadn't had this realization today, and yet your system was already feeling almost as if it did.
Right. Well, it's interesting the way how you brought that up because I would say you've seen me my whole life temper my enthusiasm and my excitement for anything that happened.
Yep.
I got a new job and I get paid so much more. Okay, but what does this mean?
The little threat.
Every raise I get, all right, what do they want from me now?
Right.
Whenever something good happens, or we got a new car, okay, but don't enjoy it too much. Or I get a motorcycle, ooh, this is so fun, but don't like it too much, I could crash. Or
I can't get too nice of one,
can't get too nice
or
of one.
whatever.
Yeah, it prevents me from even enjoying our relationship. Oh yeah, we had a great week, but what about next week?
Right.
Or Michelle's just doing that because she wants my
Right.
money or security or some reason.
Well,
invalid
and that's
reason.
the thing. You don't even come up with the reason. It's just the feeling. I mean, the reasoning,
Right.
you put reason to it later.
The feeling happens first, and then your mind
Right.
comes up with justifications. That's from Jonathan Haidt and the Righteous Mind book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what happens. That's how it works. So I was out for a walk. I don't process verbally like Michelle does. I process on my own when I have alone time because my brain's available to me. When I'm with someone, half my brain is working on communicating because it's
Right.
difficult for me. So I do alone quiet processing. And I was out on my walk and I was just having these extended chills in my head, just these feelings of tingles like moving up my head.
It feel good or
Oh yeah, it feels
strange?
good. So
Okay, good.
good.
Oh,
Like
good.
like tiny trauma releases happening all throughout my head, which is great.
We should do it. We should do a little drumming when we're done here.
That sounds great to me. Let's go
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
That'll be hilarious. I have some more notes, but I feel like we've gone on long enough.
Are you,
And I
are you
just wanted
sure
to
you can?
capture the memory.
Okay, because you can share. We can make this a whole another episode.
Okay. We'll just keep going then. So at some point in the past, I said something to my mom. I don't know if I was in therapy yet. I don't think so. But I had left the church and I had expressed some sort of dissatisfaction to my mom. And she sent me this email and it said something like, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you I loved you more often. She didn't say she's sorry for what she did. She said, I did all that I could. She didn't say, I'm sorry that I said something mean or did anything to hurt you.
Or is there something I did?
Or is there something you want to talk about
Right.
specifically?
Right.
Didn't even open the door for a conversation. It was just, I'm sorry, be quiet. You're too needy.
Yep.
Go away.
Yeah.
And, I think all of this has to do with those list of casualties that I made. That's why I felt people didn't like me, because it wasn't safe for me to trust even safe people. That's the disorganized attachment. I see you're starting to get emotional. You're one of my safe people that I didn't trust. Is that what your emotions are about?
I just feel that deeply, like, because in the disorganized attachment style, the person that's supposed to be your safety, your only access to safety is also your tormentor.
You're saying someone who's supposed to be safe can cause you terror too. That can lead to disorganized attachment.
Yeah, I mean, that's the definition of disorganized attachment, is where your safety lies is combined with where that terrorizer is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I just think of, our little grand boy at 2. He needs us. He needs all of us. He needs his mom and dad. He's not needy, but he relies on us. He can't do things by himself. And so to have that, I mean, I imagine him wanting some cheese like he does and getting us even an emotional slap at the same time just makes my body shiver.
Yeah. An emotional slap might look like, after all I've done for you, you have the
Right.
audacity to want cheese on top of it? I
Right.
just fed you dinner.
You already had one today. It can be just a tone.
Right. Right.
And so then all of a sudden their want is, like, I mean, you gotta not have wants after that. Like, that's the
Yep.
only solution to that problem.
Yep.
Become needless and wantless. I mean, that's the only safety. Although you can't live without, you do need stuff. You need air, you need water, you need warmth, you need food. So it's kind of, it's not just a mind F, it's a body F too.
So, how does this sentence strike you? Quit crying over spilled milk.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous
Why?
because what is a better emotion? Like, if your kids spilled and then they cried because they spilled the milk, they feel bad and you're
Oh,
telling them
yeah.
to shut up.
Right.
Like, the emotion that's coming out is not like, got you. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like, shows you, it did it for you. It's not like middle finger. It's like emotional.
Yep. Okay. Well, what about if you don't quit crying? I'm going to give you something to cry about.
I don't understand that from the parental view, because if you don't like their crying, then you're just going to get them to cry more. I just don't get that. Like, that one drives me crazy because you're wanting them to stop crying. And so then I'll give you something to cry about. Like, I mean, in my little version, I want to be like, let's see what that is like. You know what I mean? Like, fine if I get to have my feelings out, You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
great.
yeah. You crack me up sometimes. Oh, that's awesome.
But you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I do.
you
Let's
don't want
feel
my
it.
crying, so you're going to give me something to cry about.
Right.
Well, guess what? We're there already. We can skip that step because we're right here now. I'm
What are
crying.
you going to tell me when I'm crying because you gave
Right.
me something to cry about? Quit my crying, or you give me something more to cry about?
Right. Like, it just
Mm,
is ridiculous. It's like a
just
ridiculous thing to
ridiculous.
say.
Yeah. What about if you don't quit crying, you're going to have to walk home and drop you off 2 miles from your house so you walk home?
Right. I just think it's really interesting that we're so uncomfortable with uncomfortable emotions.
Yeah.
Because again, what happens is when we become uncomfortable with difficult emotions, then we automatically become uncomfortable with positive, those the other end of those spectrums.
Right.
And that
And
happens too. I long for a world where I can be really excited about something that's happened to me and that doesn't feel dangerous to other people. Especially as a woman, that happens. We do
yeah,
that to each other all the time. Like,
all
it's
the
like,
time.
if someone's having a success, then it's, and you know what? I have felt those feelings that threaten my body, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And some days, honestly, I'm better than other days, but most of the time I know, though, I mean, I know those feelings are mine. That other person doesn't have to shut that down to make me feel
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
That's calling out for some support. If you just give these emotions a few minutes of time, and you show up about that again and again, then just showing up, they settle, like they calm, or they release, or they process, or they shift, and then you actually feel better. They actually, quote, go away. You actually move into something else,
Yeah.
which is kind of the goal we want, but but we don't allow it, the process.
Yep.
We
There's
just
a
want
guy I
it.
used to work with that whenever I'd see him, I don't see him too often. I wouldn't see him too often, but I would ask him, "So how you doing?" And he'd say, "Better than I deserve to be," and tell me all the good things happened in his life. And then a week or two would go by, and I'd talk to him again. "Hey, how you doing?" And he'd say, "Better than I deserve to be," and tell me all the same good things happening in his life. And I say, that guy wasn't feeling his emotions. He wasn't connecting. He was too concerned about keeping up the image that his life was good, and vulnerability was not there. And if you're listening, fellow coworker, at some point, it's okay.
Right.
You're not in a place where you can feel and connect right now.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Is there anything else you want to share or talk about?
Now I want to run away with the vulnerability headache and take a nap.
No doubt.
Maybe doom scroll for a while, just check it out.
Right. No doubt.
Uh,
No doubt.
It's a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Right. And that's the thing, when you pick up emotions and hold them, then you're able to put them back down. And
right.
so, and then because your parts trust you're going to pick it back up again and look at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just all about scrambling for safety.
Yeah.
It
Right.
becomes a capacity. Okay, I'm at my capacity. I need to
Mhm.
put this down. And there's so
Right.
much more agency in that.
Right.
So,
Tell you what, I feel so liberated by sharing these stories that I've been had kept locked away in my heart for so long.
yep,
They're public now. Everyone can even talk about them.
yep.
And that's so freeing. Thanks everyone for listening and carrying some of my burden. Holy
So
cow, it
big for
means
you to
so
share.
much.
It means
Thanks.
so much for you to share, especially as a big, strong man. I mean, you are a big, strong man.
Thank you.
You are big and strong, and having emotions and expressing them and having hard stories and telling them and doing enough of the work that you understand that shame is, if that shame comes up, it's part of that story and not about you shouldn't have said something. Putting that feeling where it belongs again is really, really amazing to see and to witness. I'm sure people feel the same way to witness kind of you doing it. And like I say, I'm just in awe at you and your system. Genius.
Thanks.
To give you little pieces. Your dream was on the toilet, or your feeling was on the toilet. Your dream was with a toilet. Like, it's giving you enough, just a little bit of the hints.
Yeah.
And like I said to you earlier, I'm like, that's intelligent.
Oh yeah, it's putting things together for me.
Yes, that's intelligent.
Yeah.
It's not just happenstance. It's really amazing. You are a poster child for IFS.
Thank you. I love
Yeah.
IFS. It's so freeing to feel this, and that feeling of the brain chills. I don't get that often. I've had it a few times, and it's so great. That trauma releasing, some connections forming that were prevented before, some breaking that were there. I can just feel my brain rearranging right now, and it's the most wonderful feeling. I hope any of you who are listening, first, thanks for sticking with us on this episode. It means so much, and really glad you're here on this journey with us and with me.
Yeah.
And I hope you can have the same feeling too. We're going to continue sharing what has gotten us here, and thankful to Jackie, thankful to you, Mechelle, thankful to everyone who's had patience with me while I raged at them or distrusted them when they're a safe person. So, thanks.
This is a podcast about what happens when old wounds meet adult love. We're talking about the patterns we didn't choose, the triggers we don't understand, and the moments where love feels harder than it should. We share missteps, the breakthroughs, and the deep inner work needed to stop surviving and start truly connecting. This isn't a story about perfect healing or flawless relationships. It's about awareness, compassion, and choosing growth again and again. It's about learning how to build safety, trust, and intimacy when those things weren't modeled for us. If you've ever wondered why relationships feel heavier than you expect, if you love but struggle to feel seen, safe, or understood, if you want healing, stay with us, because healing isn't out of reach. We're not here to save marriages or lower the divorce rate. This isn't therapy, it's education with a focus on harm reduction, personal agency, and making life a little easier. We do that through storytelling and sharing perspectives. These are our stories, filtered through our own lens. Anytime we talk about other people, that's just our perception, not capital T truth.